I think it's going to have a run on D'Angelico going into the bus stop.
Oh my God, what a pass. He got it done. Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to round 1 of the North American Grand Prix GT2 Championship, coming to you live from Le Mans. It's a 2-hour feature race for round 1. Last week we had the Super Pole qualifying event, which was quite a race, a lot of action. Can't wait to bring you this broadcast here tonight. Looking forward to it. But before we go any further, let me welcome my partner here tonight, Brad Maris. Welcome.
Yeah, what a great kickoff for the Season 24 Championship. Don't you think, Al? It's a very intriguing race tonight, and I tell you, these guys are going to be under a lot of pressure right from the drop of the green flag all the way to the checkered flag. Yeah, it's strange, you know, this is a very long track, humongous straights, a lot of top-end speed, but there's just not much a place to rest around here, really, because on those big, long straights, when you'd like to take a break, you could be getting drafted by about half the field.
And quite a field it is tonight, Brad. We got 38 guys right now, 40 total in the server, including you and I. And what a great showing here for round 1 at NAGP and GT2. So really looking forward to it. But before we go any further, let's recap real quick last week that qualifying race. That qualifying race we witnessed. Eric Parsons with a great start. Got a run on Alex White down the Mulsanne Straight, and then the wheels fell off for White there going into Indianapolis. He went off, had a side-by-side action with Prato, ended up going off in the gravel, got hit a couple times while he was in the gravel. And then we had great runs from Andres Prato and the Gumpert. Montgomery had a good run, finishing 3rd, and we talked about Joe LaCour, his drive last week. What a finish for him.
Yeah, pretty amazing drive. And we had mentioned D'Angelico actually starting quite a ways back there to start that qualifying race. And in the Porsche, what we would have considered an underpowered car. But you know what? He made it work just fine. So D'Angelico starting from that 5th position is quite a coup, I would say, for those guys in that Porsche. Hard to say how it's going to hold up over the course of 2 hours, but looking forward to seeing what happens.
Unbelievable shot of that pit lane. Everybody coming out as the warm-ups has begun here. Just a boatload of cars streaming onto the track here now to start their warm-up. But I also wanted to touch base real quick. I wanted to really mention John Houston. I talked about him in the news post that I threw up there. Started 15th, finished 8th, and Jonathan Cuppett as well. With the starting 16th and finishing 9th last week. Great runs for those guys.
Yeah, and what a great news article it was, by the way, Al. I thoroughly enjoyed reading that. Not only this week, but every week I happen to, first thing I do in the morning is wake up because I want to read that news post, so thank you so much for posting those.
Well, it's nice to know somebody reads it. Thank you.
But, absolutely right. And what a great, you're absolutely right about John Houston and his drive coming up tonight. And I tell you what, those guys feel pretty confident, I think, tonight going in that McLaren MP4. So him and teammate Aaron Parsons. Of course, Aaron will be starting from the first row. There was second to Alex White. Now, there was that contact between Andres Prato and Alex White last week. That was ruled a racing incident, by the way. So Alex White got buried back in the field, but as a result of that pole winning time last week, in that position, and we'll be starting tonight's feature race from the pointy end of the stick.
Yeah, White's pole lap last week, a 35 flat, and Parsons, who finished 2nd, both those guys locking in their starting first and second starting positions. Parsons finishing just 33 hundredths of a second off. And I find that amazing, especially at a track this enormous, you know, that those two guys can just finish that close to one another.
Yeah, and it just shows you the smallest amount of time lost. Any one given corner, one tiny little bobble in the braking zone, anything. And but that's what it's like at NAGP, particularly toward those front positions, and more toward the back of the grid as well. It doesn't take but the very smallest of mistakes to find yourself many positions back farther than you'd like to be.
Well, if you're watching the broadcast tonight on Twitch, you can click on the banner below the stream there, and you can follow live timing for tonight's event. If you're watching the broadcast on the NAGP website, NorthAmericanGP.com, you can just click on the top banner there. You see GT2 live time, and click on that. It'll bring you to the live timing for tonight's race. And as our warm-up winds down here, I want to talk about the last time we raced here. It was back in February of 2013. Race went 24 laps. It's gonna end on laps. It's a 2-hour max time, but max distance 24 laps. But depending on the weather, of course, if it rains, it'll go longer. But total race time was 97 minutes, 53 seconds. Andres Prieto took the win in that event, starting from 12th, ending up winning that race in the Audi R8.
Yeah, not only winning that race, but more or less dominating it, at least in terms of lap time. So it was a 3-minute 56.5 second lap there for Andres Prieto the last time we ran here. Interesting that as I was going through those results, he had the better time of anybody by over a second, yet Ian Jolicoeur still managed to finish only 12 seconds off of that Andres Prieto's win. Now, that's key, because these guys are going to have a few strategy options tonight. We'll get into that a little bit, but there's some fuel options, there's some maybe some double stinting of tire options out there tonight, so these guys can improve their position through proper use of strategy as well.
As you see the guys now completing that installation lap and going in and figuring out where their pit bays are going to be, practicing their stops, as got about 30 seconds left here before warm-up ends. And man, I'm really excited for this race, Brad. I think it's going to be a barn burner.
Well, it's an intriguing race at the top of the grid, and then pretty much all the way down to our 40th place starter. It's going to be interesting. You know, who's gonna survive the onslaught here at Le Mans? Who's going to make the mistake going into the braking zones after those huge drafts down the Mulsanne Straight? You know, and we will have guys drop out, guys have some interesting fuel strategies. Things are going to be shaken up right from the start of this race all the way through. So it's going to be a fun one to watch.
I'll tell you what. One thing that stood out to me last week was Parsons able to get behind White, get in that toe into that draft, and really make the pass on White down the Mulsanne Straight. He's going to hope to repeat that again tonight. However, I'll tell you what, there are some other guys showing some tremendous pace. One guy in particular, Ryan Schleif, in the BMW, in the mid 356 range, and that's right there with the front runners. Andres Prieto, of course, as well. Salem Montgomery Jr. So it's not an all Alex White show. He's going to have his hands full tonight.
Well, Aaron Parsons, we saw him put up that 356.2 in our qualifying race, but let's remember that was only 6 laps worth of fuel on board. These guys are going to have at least 9 or 10 laps in the car here tonight.
All right, track condition for the race, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 degrees ambient, so it's looking good right now, Brad. Let's run down the starting order for tonight's 2-hour feature race from Le Mans. Starting from pole, Alex White, followed by Aaron Parsons second, Andres Prieto third, Ian Jolicoeur fourth, and Salem Montgomery will start fifth.
Matt Taylor starts from the 6th position. Ryan Schleif, takes 7th. John Houston in 8th. Jonathan Cuppett in 9th. Teammate Dan Wilkerson right behind him in 10th.
Greg Myers will start 11th. Kurt Chandler 12th. Mike Krajcik's 13th. Connor Swain will be 14th. And Rodrigo Triana 15th.
Chris Moses ran into some trouble, so starts 16th for the feature race. David Poole takes 17th. Alex Scott is in 18th. Iggy Ciordia in 19th. John Luden in 20th.
Jaime Moore will start 21st. Mike Monahan 22nd. Mascarelli 23rd. Marty Uren in 24th. Dustin Honeycutt 25th.
Newcomer Dustin. Omar Gomez starts 26th. Newcomer as well. Mike Trussler in 27th. Johnny Lugnut's 28th. Krishna Khalili starts 29th. And John Wathen 30th.
Ken Rodriguez 31st. Brian Story 32nd. John McIntyre 33rd. David Raleigh 34th. And Kevin Miller will start 35th.
Chuck Carter takes 36th. Juan Monroy is in 37th. Christian Hamilton 38th. And Felipe Triana rounds out the field in 39th position now.
Well, 20 seconds to go here, Brad. Who's it going to be? I want to hear a prediction.
Well, I tell you, I think Aaron is going to be pretty difficult to beat, but word around the paddock is Andres has found a little pace, and I tell you what, Alex White is going to want some revenge for last week, but there's a whole field behind him who may have picked up some pace as well, Al.
Well, we're about to go green here for round 1 from Le Mans. And we're away. Andres with a dynamite start. Parts the Red Sea and gets out in front right away. Unbelievable start by Prato. Montgomery Jr. on the outside of White going into 1. Looks like White's going to take that position from Parsons. He does. I saw some dust up in the back, Brad.
Yeah, looks like Jonathan Cuppett has found himself in the sand trap. Very sticky sand. Going to take him a few seconds to get out.
Connor Swain all the way up to 9th. Back out front. On board with Prato. See if he falls victim to White here down the Mulsanne Straight. I think that Gupper would be underpowered here, but looks like Prato's going to hold on to that position. Running through the field. Oh, Scott. Doesn't look like he had contact there with Luden. What a massive rolling iron coming through those chicanes down that long Mulsanne Straight. Yeah, guys swinging out. Meanwhile, Alex White looking on the inside of Prato. Side by side. Prato's going to hang on to it. Great job of driving from these two. Looks like Parsons got a run on Montgomery Jr. Prato still in the lead. Honeycutt back to 38th, as is Iggy in 39th. Not sure what happened to Iggy, but Prato, unbelievable start to this race. These guys running side by side. Matt Taylor now on the bumper of Montgomery Jr.
Yeah, great start for those guys up front. Mike Monahan has come to some type of bad end there at the Mulsanne corner. Now he is still back underway, but that rejoins in 36. So Mike Monahan to the back of the field.
Moses works his way up to 9th. Take a look further back. Marty Uren is up to 13th. We got Myers and Alex Scott running 14th and 15th. Behind him, John Luden, Rodrigo Triana. Yeah, Cuppet back in 36. It's a long race though, Cuppet. Hang in there, buddy. Omar Gomez in 37th, Honeycutt 38th, and Iggy back in 39th. Tough start for Iggy.
Yeah, came to some bad end there through one of the Mulsanne chicanes. Iggy had gotten spun around, didn't see what happened.
Oh, Moses loses it. Some contact, looks like with John Houston. Moses stuck in the gravel, as is Houston. Oh, what a turn of events for Moses. Looks like he went in a little too hot. He's back underway, rejoins in 20th, splits the lug nuts and looks like Mascarelli. So tough start for Moses right at the end of lap 1. Yeah, Trussell there, he's on the bumper of, looks like that might be Kevin Miller. Oh, Brian Story. Looking on the inside of Lou, gets the pass done. Nice job by Mike.
Yeah, during the Ford chicanes, it also looks like oh shoot.
Looks like Trussell's got some front end damage on that Mercedes. Rodriguez running
Christian
in
Hamilton,
30.
excuse me, Al, sorry. Christian Hamilton, unfortunately, did take a DNF at the race, had a problem there at the Ford chicanes.
Well, meanwhile, Prieto continues to lead. Well, he made a comment on the pre-race thread that he has found some pace in this Gumpert, and man, he is not lying.
Well, so far so good, but there's a train of cars still a-coming after him, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can't hold on to this lead. He's going to have to survive a lot of drafts, as is taking place at the moment.
Oops. White makes the pass. See if Prieto can count it.
Yeah, we see those guys dicing very hard, and Salem Montgomery Jr. is watching it too from that 4th position. I tell you, the smallest slip-up of Salem Montgomery Jr. will factor in for this lead.
Well, we got a question from the peanut gallery. What is John McIntyre doing out there? Well, GM Racing doing a one-off, it looks like, here tonight at Le Mans. So Salem running in 4th. Slowly dropping back from Parsons after that start, but that battle up front is nose to tail.
Yeah, it really is, and we haven't gotten too much into it, but there are some strategy, well, I did mention it, there are some strategy options to play here for these guys, and
it's just sorry, Brad. Andre had a look at the same corner these two guys had an incident in last week.
so any one of these guys a bit further back, Ryan Schleife and Joe LaCour now running 7th, Matt Taylor or Salem Montgomery Jr., they're not so far off this lead yet where this couldn't be playing right into their hands if they've got the strategy right.
Yeah, he and Joe LaCour has dipped back down to 7th. White has slowly put a little gap between himself and Prieto here in lap 2.
He has. Meanwhile, I'm looking at Curtis Chandler there running in the 10th position, and right now putting some heat on Marty Uren for 9th.
Well, we talked about Kurt last week, didn't we? Ooh.
Yeah.
Joe LaCour has lost it in the Porsche curves. That's not where he's supposed to lose it, in the Porsche. Well, he's back on the way. He's falling back to 12th.
Wow. Well, with that aero damage now, things are going to become tougher for Ian.
Yeah, he may fall victim to Greg Myers here in 13th. Wow, what a run by Kurt Chandler. Let's hope he can keep this up. So it looks like And is back underway here. Hasn't lost that position to Greg Myers, but behind him, Alex Scott has made an unbelievable run here from the back. Up to 14th. David Poole in 15th. These two had it coming together last week, which cost David Poole 10 grid spots.
Yeah, cost Alex Scott even more than that, really. So not too surprising to see that speed from Alex Scott here early.
Tell you what, Greatrick's having a nice early run here. He's got John Ludden all over the back of him. Doing a good job holding him up.
Yeah, absolutely. As you watch that battle, I'll also fill you in here. It looks like Aaron Parsons has slipped past Andres Prieto at some point on the track. So it is Aaron Parsons now to second. Andres right on his heels, however.
Chris Moses now back up to 18th. He's starting to, hoping to catch a draft off Ludden here. Ludden taking a look on the inside of Greatrix going into the first chicane here down the Mulsanne Straight. He gets it done. I was surprised to see that Ferrari. Get past the Corvette that easily. Back on board with Greatrix, looking to counter. Ludden throws the right. Greatrix counters with the left hook. Here it comes. He gets it done. So nice battle here for the last points paying position. Scott now all over the back of Andres Prieto. Frantic start to this race as Scott swings out wide here. Make a run on Greg here down at the end of the Mulsanne Straight.
Yeah, and a few other position swaps going on toward the front too. So it is Matt Taylor now just getting through Ryan Schleif, and David Wilkerson takes over the 7th position from Marty Urin.
On board with Ian Joe LaCour. He's tucked up behind Connor Swain and Jaime Moore just ahead of him. Tapping the brakes from Swain. Uh-oh. That was a close one. Oh, Scott! Looks like he got... Oh, look, some contact happening. Scott left his brake a little too early, got in the back of, looks like Joe LaCour. But not too bad. Joe LaCour back out front. Ludden now up to 16th, gotten past Greatrix, and now Chris Moses makes the move on Greatrix. So Moses jumps up to 17th. Take a look further back here. Mike Tressler running at 19th, followed by Halili. Kevin Miller. Kevin Miller missed last week's qualifying race, but he's up to 21st with Cuppet. After his first lap excursion there, is back up to 22nd. We got McIntyre, GM Racing running in 24th. David Rowley right behind him. Into the Ford curves. Oh! Looks like Miller's taking it off track. Nice exit there from Rowley. Rowley might get a run on McIntyre here down at turn 1. Maybe not. McIntyre really showing its legs here in that Corvette. This battle up for 17th now, still raging on. Let's continue to work our way back. And Mascarelli got Houston behind him. Houston was running up in 9th. Had that contact with Moses, and man, he has been unable to recover here as he's languishing back at 25th. Monroy in 26. Not sure what happened to Monroy there, Brad. Oh, I don't think Monroy was here last week, was he?
No.
Alright, so Monroy running 26th. Hey, he's running Ferraris in both Monday and Thursday. Yeah, quite the run last Thursday's qualifying race in GT1, so as you and I both know pretty well. Ooh, it's Houston.
Indeed.
Slices in front of Monroy. Got Mike Monahan back in 27th. Got Watson, followed by Ken Rodriguez. Brian Story. Honeycutt running 31st. Rodrigo Triana back in 32nd. Then we have the Argentinian racing team of Omar and Iggy, 33rd and 34th. So tough start for those guys. Kevin Miller back in 35th. Chuck Carter running 36th. That's it. We had a couple guys drop, but back out front, Alex White. He's got about a second lead over Aaron Parsons.
Yeah, that gap has just now started to come back down a little bit. Alex White had it out to 1.82 seconds, and it was holding steady there, but now it is Aaron Parsons beginning to slightly creep back up, and I'm wondering if maybe he's done...
Ooh, little bobble from Andre. See if Montgomery can take advantage. He can't. Sorry, Brad.
No, that's okay. I was kind of watching Andres too, and I'm wondering if Andres isn't starting to struggle just a little bit. But then now it's Salem Montgomery well and truly in his draft. So, boy, this could get tense very quickly.
Well, Montgomery Jr. running that new Viper here this season on Continental tires. So, new tire model, showing its making its debut here in week 2 rather, race 1.
Yeah, Word is on the Continental tires. We talked about that a little bit, and after some investigative reporting, or whatever you call it out, those Continentals may have some nice advantages out there on track. Maybe a little extra width on that tread, and a few other little perks. So Salem putting them to good use.
The gap between the top 4 and Matt Taylor is. Oh, let's take a look. It's about 7 seconds, so those guys, the top 4 starting to drive away here, but tell you what, Taylor and Ryan Schleich, both these guys running 5th and 6th. Pretty similar lap times. Let's look further back. Marty Uren now up to 7th. Wilkerson running in 8th. Wilkerson having also a great run. There's Kurt Chandler running in 9th. Nice to see Kurt well up into the points after a couple dismal seasons for Kurt.
Yeah, off to a great start here, and right behind him in 10th, a notable mention, Jaime Moore. So Jaime Moore running inside the top 10, that's a good result for him thus far.
Yeah, he's just going to mention that. We're on board with Jaime right now, so certainly having a great run. We got David Poole running 11th. He's put a gap between himself and Connor Swain. Greg Meyer is now up to 13th. Meanwhile, Joe LaCour and it looks like John Ludden. These guys having a run. See if Ludden can take advantage of Joe LaCour down the straight.
Yeah, and as you watch that battle, it's now Ryan Schleich and Matt Taylor going at it for...
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so those guys still fighting over 5th. Ryan Schleich picks up the position over Matt Taylor. Yeah, they're still drafting at it here, looks like.
Ludden, take a look on the inside. Nope. Moses has gotten past Alex Scott, so Moses now into the points. Now Houston trying to get a run on Johnny McIntyre. Right behind him is David Rowley. Rowley's got someone on his left. would be Cupping. Port side. Oh, rally. Going a little too hot. Keeps it under control. Oh, looks like Houston got a nice exit there out of that chicane.
Yeah, quick update here toward the front. Salem Montgomery Jr. has gotten through Andres Prieto, so Salem Montgomery Jr. on the podium.
Well, to answer the question in the chat, McIntyre, little touch-up going on here. McIntyre, a little clip on Houston. And that's caught Cuppet off, I believe. So Cuppet's turned it around. So to answer the question in the chat, it was under 1. Didn't even get to complete a lap. And that's when the canning happened. So yeah, you mentioned Montgomery getting past Prieto, and he has checked out.
Yeah, and I tell you another interesting pass just occurring. Jaime Moore has gotten through Curtis Chandler there for the 9th position. Now, David Poole in 11th is not so far back off of Curtis Chandler. He is gaining on that duo, so that's quickly going to become a three-way fight over the next lap or two.
Yeah, Dave, these guys, for the most part, have been running a pretty quiet race. David Poole certainly has good pace in that Ferrari, so... probably just a matter of time here before he closes that gap on Kurt Chandler. So, this battle further back, we got Swain, Greg Myers, Connor Swain. Myers has gotten by Swain. Joe LaCour, Moses now up to 15th. He's made the pass. Oh, he takes it off into the gravel. Nearly puts it back into the wall. And Luton got past again. And now Alex Scott. So, all that work by Moses. Down the drain there. Unfortunately for him.
One heck of a battle you've got going on there, but I have to break in and let you know that Aaron Parsons is now making up some serious ground on Alex White. Last lap for Aaron Parsons, a 55.7. So that's the best we have seen.
Yeah, best ever at GT2 under race conditions. Ooh, little lurch there from White. Big slide. That's going to give Parsons that opportunity. You can see it.
Yeah, Alex White trading very nice times. All 56s thus far, but Aaron Parsons just kind of started reeling them in, and popped off a fast one.
Ooh, a little lift there from White. White, looks like he gave it to him. Gave him a little flash of the lights. Oh, White is struggling. He is struggling.
Yeah, I think he's running out of tire here, Al. The track temperature does continue to climb. You know, that is going to hurt those Dunlops a little bit more than Parsons' tires.
Wow, track temp has gone way up. Now 105 degree Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, you can see Parsons is now put quite a gap. Now, Montgomery Jr.'s right there as well. Looks like Prieto is now a little moment there. The car was touch and go for him, but he's clawed his way back up to Montgomery. So it looks like the car's coming back around to him.
Yeah, he has, and for Alex White, I think he's just going into conservative mode here. He's going to try to manage the tires and the gap as well as he possibly can, and try to sort out how he's going to try to complete this win here. He's just going to kind of regroup here for a second.
So I think we're looking at. Let's look at the pit rotation here. Let's see what we can come up with, Brad. What are we looking at, around lap 8?
Yeah, 8, 9, or 10. I think most of the guys are going to be coming in on 8 or 9. There will be a few guys that stretch it out to lap 10.
Yeah, looking at previous results here, it looks like most guys came in around lap 9, some guys 10, so yeah. So I think we're still got a few laps to go here before these guys start making their way into the pit lane.
Yeah, and actually Andres Prieto now has picked up quite a bit of time here in the last half lap on Salem Montgomery Jr. So Andres Prieto, I think, has regathered himself and looking to retake that third position.
So the battle for fifth has stretched out a little bit as Schleif is running fifth. Matt Taylor right behind him in sixth. Marty Uren running seventh, and Wilkerson starting to close the gap slightly on Marty. Got Jaime Moore up to ninth. David Poole still behind Kurt Chandler here, running in 10th. So Chandler has genuine pace. Ooh, just takes it a bit wide there. That's going to open the door for David Poole. Poole going to have a look on the inside. And nice job there by Kurt. Poole gets it done. So there you have it. Slight little bobble there from Kurt. Let's open the door for David.
Yeah, and I suspect seeing Curtis Chandler's pace drop off a little bit. I think he might be in a similar tire situation there to Alex White, having to kind of back off a little bit and regroup and kind of relearn how to drive the car here for the next couple laps.
John Lydon trying to get a run on Ian Jolicoeur going into turn one. Can't get it done. Chris Moses now back up to 15th, so something must have happened further back. Ratrix now in the points. We got Alex Scott now back at 17th. So, interesting battle here for 12th between Greg Myers, Jolicoeur, and you can see Luden all over the back of Jolicoeur. Chris Moses right there as well. I'm going to stay on board with these guys.
David Rowley into the pits here, Al. Not sure why, but it is an early stop for David Rowley.
Well, I think we saw this a couple times before. Luden. Oh, Chris Moses getting a run on Luden. Jolicoeur defending the inside. Wow, Luden kind of got caught off there. That's side by side. Moses gets the pass done. So that jockeying between Luden and Jolicoeur gave Moses the opportunity to get a run on those guys. Moses swinging out wide. Have the advantage. Looks like he has got the straight line speed over Jolicoeur. Looks like they're pretty close. Looks like Moses gets the pass made. Picking him off. Oh, Jolicoeur got a nice exit there out of that second chicane.
I don't know if this is a recent development or not, but Alex Scott and Mike Monahan both have taken a DQ here due to accidents. I don't know if they were together, but both guys running pretty damn well. And
Greg Myers takes it off. Oh, we got a schmozzle, Brad. Luden.
No.
The benefactor there getting by Jolicoeur up to 13th. He gets by Greg Myers, and Moses once again has to go back to work. Wow, what a tough night for Chris Moses. So a little mistake there from Greg Myers really caught Moses off there. I think Greg might have been doing some mirror driving. That's something you typically see from Greg. He's usually pretty good about keeping it clean, keeping it on track.
Yeah, that's right.
Take a look further up real quick. Oh, Prieto nearly threw it off. He's lost some time again to Montgomery Jr. White running in second and Parsons back in first.
Well, I think Andres Prieto has dropped off a little bit. Now, interesting, Alex White has kind of regained some form here, so it might just have been a bad lap for Alex White, and he is kind of figuring out how to drive the car with those tires going off. But, boy, I tell you, that first through fourth place, all within 6 seconds of each other, so these pit stops coming up pretty critical because that time can certainly be gained in the pit.
Greg Myers into the pits.
Yeah, so an early stop. Now, most of these guys can actually come in early and take some longer stints, their last laps, or their last stops, rather. So you can take an early one early or a late one late.
Well, we talked about Great Tricks. He is having a great run here. Still in the points. Doesn't quite have the pace, it looks like, compared to Moses or Joe LaCour, but he's been running a pretty clean race and solidly in the points here.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what I'd call it. Yeah, a clean race versus these other guys really banging and beating off each other, and Mike Greatrex kind of just driving above it all and running a great race.
Alili, last man in the points, currently 16th. Connor Swain running 17th. We got Trussler behind him. Houston running in 19th. Jonathan Cuppett now up to 20th. Lou Mascarelli running 21st. Iggy Chiordia 22nd. Ken Rodriguez back in 23rd. We got Kevin Miller running 24th. Behind him we got Omar Gomez and Dustin Honeycutt duking it out here for that 25th position. Haven't talked about these guys. New guys here at NAGP, Iggy, Omar, and Dustin.
Yeah, good to have him along, and so far it's Iggy with the early advantage there among those new drivers. And I want to go back real quickly to Kreshnik Kalili. You mentioned him just now into the points. Now remember, Kreshnik started somewhere around the 30th position in this race, so very back in the field was Kreshnik. Now finds himself up there in 16th and in the points, so very nice run for Kreshnik Kalili going.
It's battle for back in 25th. It looks like Honeycutt now, Brian Story, Honeycutt, and Omar. 3 wide. Going into the second chicane here. Something's got to give. Looks like Story's got the advantage. Ooh, Honeycutt nearly gets into the back of Gomez. Big slide from Gomez there. Ooh, a little bit of a lurch that's going to open the door for Honeycutt. So, nice to see these guys doing battle here, even this far back in the grid. Meanwhile, we got Monroy in 28th, followed by Greg Myers. Greg has pitted. I wonder if Monroy has pitted. Haven't really been following his progress. Oh, looks like Gomez is taking it off. Oh, big slide from Raleigh. Triana running 31st. Chuck Carter back in 32nd. Watson running 33rd. Monahan out. Oh, looks like Salem's into the pits, Brad.
Yeah, so what? Lap 8, right? Is that what we're on? So that kind of makes some sense.
Alex White has stayed out.
Stopping.
Looks like Parsons is pitted as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all those guys have come in, all the front runners.
Ryan Schleif has stayed out. Taylor has stayed out. Marty and Wilkerson now. Wilkerson having a look on the inside of Marty. This is a nice battle. These guys are staying out as well.
You know, I think some of these guys would like to have stretched it to lap 9, but given the track conditions and it warming up, I'm wondering if maybe they aren't having to swap out some rubber. Go to the hard rubber from the medium, something like that.
Yeah, you see in the pit lane, Parsons, Prato, Chandler, Montgomery, Halili, Swain, Houston. All these guys out. Mike Monahan out with an accident. So you can expect these guys to pit in at the end of this lap.
Yeah, I would think so, and it's worth noting that tire wear is not really all that great around this place. So guys that can take it very deep have the possibility of double stinting for a short last stint, but it could be touch and go with these types of track temperatures.
Here we have Moses and Joe LaCour. Moses gets the pass made on Ian. Oh, we have a disconnect. Greatrix also stayed out. He's currently in 9th. Not far off this battle between Joe LaCour and Chris Moses. It's right on board with Joe LaCour.
As you ride along with Joe LaCour, I'm going through timing and scoring here, and Andres Bretos beating Salem Montgomery Jr. out of the pits by a wide margin, so it looks like Salem Montgomery Jr. has had some problems in the pits. He's going to be dropping back for this second stint.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was going to mention Preto's pit performance, but I failed to, but that brings up a good point about Salem. I know we noticed last season he had his troubles in the pits at times, so looks like that's something he's going to have to work on.
Yeah, this won't be down to double stinting tires or anything like that. So, yeah, just some type of mistake. Maybe a spin on pit entry or something. Who knows?
Further up here, we got David Poole now on the tail of, looks like that's Dan Wilkerson.
Just watching Alex White, he has passed by the pit lane, so Alex White, though he does appear to be struggling a little bit with his lap times, is going to take another one. I think Alex White's going to go for double stint, his last stop.
Interesting.
Or at least a short fuel, yeah. That, excuse me, E92 does get very good fuel economy.
David Poole, let's see what he elects to do here. Who's going to pit? Who is it? Looks like Wilkerson's going to dive into the pit lane. Poole's going to stay out. Look at this pit entrance here at Le Mans. So Poole will get by. So other guys staying out. Marty's staying out. Matt Taylor's stayed out. The 3 BMWs staying out, and the Porsches and Ferrari.
Yeah, fuel economy cars staying out. It's a little curious by Alex White sticking with some type of obvious plan strategy. Apparently he feels he's in pretty good shape here, and if he can shave enough time off that second stop, boy, he could have made quite a good strategy decision.
Greatrix also has stayed out. So Parsons, who has pitted, is running currently in 9th. Trussler in 10th. We got Preto in 11th. So Preto with a very nice stop, not far off of Parsons, just a couple seconds off him. So Preto had made up some time on Parsons.
Yeah, Andres came out of the pits some 3 seconds back, then gained a little bit of more time when they had to get through Jonathan Cuppett. Ooh, Omar Gomez just showed up, taking a DNF, ran out of fuel out.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, I was talking to those guys, and that's one thing I was trying to convey to them is race prep and fuel, fuel economy and what to prepare for. But that's a tough break.
Well, he won't make that mistake again.
Hopefully Icky doesn't do the same thing. So Cuppett now running in 12th. He has yet to pit. Here you have that gap between Preto and Montgomery. It is substantial.
Yeah.
So I don't think Monroy has pitted yet. He's stayed out, currently 14th. Myers, he's pitted. Well, he came out pretty close behind Monroy, and Monroy has checked out. We're gonna have to check the laps there, Brad.
Yeah. Monroy showed up with a 4-minute 42-second lap. Now, if he came into the pits, he would only have taken fuel on that stop.
I'll tell you what, you got to keep your eye on Monroy. He's very sneaky like that.
Yeah, it could be. I think it would be tough to get in and out of the pits with a 4-minute 42, even just taking fuel.
So it could be that Monroy is double stinting this lap. Oh, well, I'll just have to wait and see. Greg Myers, we mentioned him. Wilkerson, he's rejoined. He's currently 16th. You got Raleigh behind him. Raleigh pitted early, and he's not far off of Dan Wilkerson at all. John Ludden, I believe John has pitted. Kurt came in. Rodrigo Triana running in 20th. We got Houston 21st.
And leader Alex White is in.
So this will be interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on what these other guys do. Ryan Schleif into the pit lane. Matt Taylor into the pits as well.
Yeah, I don't think they can make it another lap, so it's a must stop for these guys at this point.
Well, let's see what this Porsche can do. Marty now coming towards the pit entry. What's he going to do? Looks like he's given the flash. He's in. Poole is in.
Yeah, so these guys in these economy cars, they've set themselves up pretty well here. It's going to remain to be seen over the remaining laps just how well it's going to work out. So far, it looks like they're off to a good start.
Moses is in. Let's see what White is. He's away. Aaron Parsons now going through the Ford chicane. He's exiting. Wow, Ryan Schleif got out ahead of Alex White. What a stop from Schleif.
Wow.
He nearly beats Prato up.
Yeah, now that could be a double stint there. If he takes a double stint now, it's going to be a short run to his earliest. Well, no, he's not going to be able to make a short. Yeah, very interesting.
Is right, Brad. Wow. So Schleif out ahead of Montgomery Jr.
Yeah, that might just be a straight double stint. I mean, the time works out to where that that would put him in double stint range, where he was at and where he came out at.
Well, we'll just have to keep an eye on his pace here. So Montgomery is falling quite a ways back from those front runners here. Certainly the biggest loser in the pit rotation. Matt Taylor rejoins in 6th. And Monroy, he must have double stinted. He's running in 7th.
Yeah, so I guess he we'll have a basis to see his lap time at that 4:42 with some of the other guys, especially with Ryan Schleif when they come around again. We'll see what Ryan's time is, and that'll give us we'll kind of know at that point what Juan has done.
So Marty has rejoined in 8th, followed by Greg Myers in 9th. David Poole in 10th. So those guys came in nose to tail into the pit lane, and Marty beating Poole out of the pits. Wilkerson. Looks like Wilkerson might have lost out there in that pit rotation. He's fallen back to 11th. He's about to swing out here, get a run on David Poole going into the first chicane. Looks like he's going to get that pass made. Luden gets the pass made on David Raleigh for 12th.
Yeah, Dan Wilkerson, mentioning him, he has spun it coming into the first chicane on the Mulsanne Straight, so he's given up some spots.
Is that a self-induced spin?
I just caught the end of it, Al. Not sure.
He's in a tough spot there, Dan. I'm afraid to watch. Go now. Go now. All right, there you go. Nice job, Dan. Very nice. But he's fallen back to 22nd. Tough break for Dan.
Wow, a 56 flat just turned in by Andres Prieto. I'm watching that gap continue to come down.
Muffin. Taking a ride through the gravel. I'm sorry, Brad. What was that?
That was Andres Prieto turning in a 56 flat there and gaining some more ground on Aaron Parsons. Now, he showed good pace early, then dropped off, but for now, Andres Prieto is gaining a little bit of ground on the lead.
So the gap between the front runners here is 2 seconds. Well, that's right around 2 seconds, Prieto to Parsons. And you got 5 seconds, 6 seconds to Schleif and 7 seconds, nearly 8 to White. And Montgomery Jr. way back now, 14 seconds off the leader. Ooh. Looks like Marty. Oh, Marty was out ahead of Greg, I believe. And David Poole. Cuppet now up to 13th. Now Cuppet was languishing way back in the field, so you got to wonder if Cuppet also double stinted.
Yeah, we need another lap coming in to see what that total in and out lap time was on their stops. So that's that information's coming soon. Now there's a pretty close battle out here on track at the moment for that last points paying position. John Houston and Rodrigo Triana going at it.
Just jumped on board with those guys, on board with Rodrigo.
Boy, Andres continues to close that gap, almost within 1 second. Now that's drafting range down the straight. You get within 1 second.
Oh, big spin here by Triana through the Porsche curves. Oh, what a tough break. Oh, he's going to be in there a while.
Boy, that sand is sticky.
Man, Ian Jolicoeur back in 19th. Not sure what happened to him. But after finishing 4th, he's way back behind Trussler. So not a good stop for Ian. It's kind of surprising, unless he had an incident on track that we failed to capture. Oh, Houston with a big slide. He saves it. Chandler now trying to go to work on Cuppet. Looking further up here. We got Ludden, his teammate David Poole, and Greg Myers. Nose to tail. David Poole having a look on the inside of Greg. Looks like he's going to get the job done. He does. Made it look easy.
Yeah, I think Ryan Schleif did some type of double stint, but I tell you, he may only have swapped out the front or the rear. I'm sure he did both sets. He may have elected to just take fronts or rears.
Greg Myers now repasses David Poole. Poole had to lift a little bit there. His teammate now all over the back of him. So I really didn't get clarification last week, but I think the two teammates, so 5 Motorsport teammates, might have had it coming together last week.
Oh! Yeah, we didn't pick that up.
firm team. Looks like Poole's going to give him the spot. He does. John might have a little pace on him here over his teammate. So team orders in effect.
Yeah,
back at Greg Myers.
Yeah, maybe David was just looking to punch a hole through Greg Myers. Maybe figured John could do it a little bit better than he had been able to do up to this point. Bump track, yeah. Actually, probably would be a bad strategy, actually. Andres Prieto now showing on timing and scoring within 1 second of Aaron Parsons. If he can hold this going on to the Molsand Straight, he will begin to gain some ground.
So, Prieto on a charge. Back
yeah, and how now showing a 55.8 for Andres Prieto last lap.
Oh, Luden having a look on Greg Myers, but elected not to throw it in there. This Ferrari is showing some incredible straight line speed here as Luden has a look into turn 1. Wow, nice pass by John. I mean, that Mercedes is no slouch down the straights, but man, these guys must have that Ferrari really trimmed out. Ooh, Myers runs a little wide. That gets them both by. So Greg back to 11th. 05 guys running 9 and 10. Back out front. So Alex White has made his way past Ryan Schleif. That gap is pretty substantial now. Schleif is now just a second up on Montgomery Jr. here.
Yeah, Ryan Schleif's drop here has been precipitous the last couple laps, and I think he has definitely changed either one set, either the front or the rear of those tires, and it has really unbalanced the car.
So it looks like it's just a matter of time here before Montgomery gets the pass made on Ryan.
Yeah, you can do that on some cars, kind of plan on setting up and taking just one set or another, but you do have to set the car up specifically for it.
I have to be honest with you, in all my years of driving the Sim, I don't think I've ever done that in a race.
There's very few opportunities. It takes a particular track and a particular type of car usually to make it work.
So there you have it. Salem Montgomery gets by Ryan for the 4th position. Conroy, I'm telling you, continues to run in 7th. He's all by himself. You have Marty Uren in 8th. And David Poole, Greg Myers. Oh, what happened to John Ludden?
We did have somebody drop from the server there last lap, Al. That could have been John.
Unbelievable. That is a bummer for him. Let's hope that's not the case.
Oh, Al, temperature has begun to drop, and suddenly our forecast calls for a little bit of the wet stuff.
Oh my goodness. So, working lap. Looks like working lap 13. It's about halfway through this one. No, just over half. Almost an hour into this race. The skies could open up. Oh yeah, look at the clouds starting to, well, that's going to benefit some of these guys, and it's going to kill some other guys, especially if they're just passing the start line and they're going to make a whole lap of this track in wet conditions. This is going to be interesting, Brad.
Yeah, well, it'll advantage some guys, Dunlops, notably, most notably, maybe Alex White. But you know what? That might not matter so much because it's all about the call of when you have to come in, if you have to come in, and or if you have to come in. So it's it's tricky, and it kind of comes down to luck too.
You can see the clouds starting to gather. It's gotten really dark pretty quick here, Brad. It's not unusual.
Yeah, so these guys. No, and I tell you, these guys are fumbling with their telemetry units, their XDs, pre-selecting some tires and getting set up, but it's a dicey call either way, boy.
It doesn't look like
if it does start to rain
yet. But this
yeah,
track,
right. If it does.
Yeah, this track does get wet. And throw into the mix here, these guys running little to no wing for the most part. Yeah, you're right about that long lap, yeah. Well, it's all about staying calm at this point. You know, if it does start to rain, you just pass start-finish line, you know, you just got to stay calm, back off a little bit. Okay, I'm giving up some ground maybe, but, you know, but I'm keeping it on track. I'm not throwing the race away. Battle between Rally and John Houston. Houston looks like he's gotten by. Yeah, with a disconnect. That's unfortunate. Really bummed for you, dude. I hate to see that, Brad, especially when guys run so well.
Oh, yeah, are you kidding? So I'm watching actually Curtis Chandler and Jonathan Cuppett going at it now over the 12th spot. Both those guys still keeping their runs in good shape here.
So Mike Trussler into the final points paying position, running 16th, right behind Dave Rally and John Houston just ahead of Rally. Couldn't get it done. Galili right there in 17th, just off these guys, so you know he's hoping these guys start duking it out like they are now. It's just going to allow him to claw back into this fight. Trussler really getting a run on Rally on the outside through Indianapolis. We're gonna have a look on the inside. That's a tough place to get it done. It's really hard to put the power down there. So Rally doing a good job trying to fend off Mike Trussell here, who's really putting the pressure on him.
So it's Ryan Schleif into the pits now, and I tell you, we have a titanic battle going on here toward the front. Andres Prieto now is within striking distance here of Aaron Parsons, as he has gotten into that draft coming down the Mulsanne Straight.
Looks like we had a lap car there. I think that's Chuck Carter.
Yeah, Ryan Schleif now back into the pits. I think that he has revised his tire strategy option here and decided that it just was not going to work, or whatever it is that's going on. That's just kind of speculation here on this broadcaster's part.
Chuck, good job letting Prieto by. So taking back
Juan Monroy into the pits as well. Sorry.
Monroy and Greg Myers in also. Still dry out there. Temperatures dropping. Has yet to begin to rain. Another lap car. It's Brian Story or Kevin Miller.
So those were short stints for all those guys. They're going to be good to go the rest of the way. Now if it does rain, they're really going to get caught out.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen to those guys at this point is if it does start raining. As you got to think, they're going to lose. They're going to rejoin probably back in 17, 18, 20 area.
Yeah, I mean, Juan Monroy, we've been talking about him and kind of following his progress. So he comes out, rejoins the track in 18th, and he's got a ways to go to reclaim that 7th spot. So he definitely doesn't want the rain coming. He will if everything works out, and then the rest of the guys have to come in for those stops.
Well, David Poole has now started to close the gap up on Marty Uren. So that gap is about a second. Chris Moses running in 8th. Right behind him, Kurt Chandler, Ryan Schleif, and John Houston, who's in 10th. We know Schleif is pitted. And Schleif, take a look on the inside, not going to get it done.
Yeah, very interesting. I tell you, the guy I've been keeping my eye on is Alex White. Alex White has been turning some pretty good times. I think he's going to drop off the pace here a bit these last couple laps before his final stop, but he has done a good job coming out of the pits in this stint to hold very good pace to give himself a shot at a short fill and to jump first.
Ooh, not sure what happened there with Houston. I don't know if he knew he was on his inside. Schleif, Ryan was certainly there. Meanwhile, we got Trussler and Halili duking it out as well. Two Mercedes. Halili having a nice run. Back, Joe LaCour back in 14th. Wilkerson now in 15th. He had that spin early in that stint that kind of really ruined what was a great run there early on. Greatrick's last points paying position. Often now up to 17th. Monroy, you talked about him. He's rejoined in 18th. Mascarelli running in 19th and Cuppet behind him in 20th. So I assume Cuppet has pitted as well. Iggy Giordia 21st as Greg Myers rejoins in 22nd after he pits. Dave Raleigh has
single
also
stop for
pitted
Jonathan
as well.
Cuppet.
So Raleigh 23rd. We got Ken Rodriguez running in 24th. Rigo Triana back in 25th. We got Story running in 26th. Chuck Carter in 27th. And that is it, Brad. We had 38 guys start. We got 27 running at the moment.
Well, engine health is not great. It's very easy to make a mistake, and you got a lot of speed when you do, so those barriers cause a toll. Now, the rain has not come down yet, but I tell you, that track temperature and ambient continues to fall.
Yeah, it is starting to dip. It's gone down nearly 10 degrees.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that had a viewer chime in as well, Krishna Khalili. So his run continues now, running up in the 13th position for Krishna Khalili.
So Matt Taylor, just running a quiet race here in 5th, having a good run, nobody in sight for him. Track like this can get a bit boring if you got nobody around you, but Not so much boring, but you can lose concentration, lose focus. Very easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, so far so good for Matt Taylor. Now, I don't know if you had picked up on this battle before, but just behind him, Marty Uren and David Poole now going at it for 6. In fact, David Poole, I think, is winning.
Just picked it up, Brad. Just as you started to mention it. These guys have been going back and forth for a little while now. It's going to be Marty on the inside. Looks like Marty's going to hang on to it. Maybe not. Takes it too deep. Poole gets by. Makes it easy. So David Poole now up to 6th.
Still, though, you have to be impressed with Marty Uren's run, really. He was in some battles earlier, but, of course, he didn't have a great qualifying race, so really, Marty Uren has put in a very fine drive tonight.
We got Chris Moses behind him running in 8th. So David Poole has a little distance between himself and Marty after that pass.
Andres Prieto, Aaron Parsons into the pits. Al, sorry, jump in there.
Wow, side by side. Ooh, this is going to be
it was
interesting
about
to watch here. Ooh, Montgomery in as well.
0.4 second.
So if the rain comes, this is going to work out for Monroy and some of these other guys who've already pitted. Ooh, Parsons away. Looks like a short double stint.
Yeah. Yeah, but boy, still a few laps to run though.
Yeah, White out front now. Wow, Andre must be scratching his head at right now. Andre is away.
What?
Montgomery's away as well. Montgomery double stinting. Right behind Prieto.
Well, Andre shouldn't have to worry about Salem Montgomery Jr. Then. He will be giving up some time, but I'm wondering if Aaron Parsons maybe didn't switch stuff up, because he knows Alex White is going to take this very deep and likely double stint himself. So I'm wondering if Aaron decided, well, maybe I should take the double stint also to prevent Alex White from coming out in front on his last stop.
So we know these guys are going to stick it out. Porsches and the Ferraris. Schleif has already made his stop.
Skies have cleared, Al.
Ooh, that threat is gone as Houston is in, Chandler now in, and Trussler into the pit lane. Ferguson staying out. Graytrick's going to stay out as well. Graytrick's left it a little late as well, his first stint, so we'll see what he does. Taking over for Jack Ivey and the Broadcasters Racing Team. Graytricks and Ken Rodriguez, Ken, our Thursday night broadcaster, as Graytricks, I'm telling you, putting on a great show tonight. Solid run.
Yeah.
I really haven't seen him make any mistakes. I mean, we've been here and there picking up on him, but it's been very consistent. It's nice to see.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to mention. Looking through those lap times, he has one kind of out of order lap, but other than that, very, very consistent lap time.
Monroy now up to 14th. I think he pitted from 7th. Ooh, a little lurch there, but regains at Trussler, rejoins at 15th. Houston's away. Trussler might have double stinted as well. I was going to say, he's gone out very quick. Iggy up to 16th. We got Greg Myers behind him. So Houston, I have to imagine, is taking tires. Kurt Chandler rejoins in 19th. It's in 20th. Ken Rodriguez running in 21st. And Rodrigo Triana 22nd. So what looks Watson in the pit lane. Looks like he's up on the jacks. Gonna get tires and fuel. Lou in the pits as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. All these guys have an option to take a double stint, you know, assuming their tires are halfway reasonable, you know. But you know, some of these guys have taken it early, some are taking it late, and so it's it's always kind of a mystery. And you have to be on top of your game, you know, trying to think about what your closest rival has done and might do in the future.
You can see that gap now starting to grow between Prato and Montgomery Jr. Came out pretty close out of the pit lane, but Prato did take tires. You're going to have to check that gap between Parsons and Prato. See if it starts to shrink.
Yeah, you wonder how much it's going to shrink. We haven't, of course, seen Aaron Parsons take a double stint yet, so hard to say how much his lap times are going to drop off, but Andre's showing incredible pace there that second stint.
So the two BMWs are going to stay out, Taylor and White. See what David Poole elects to do here. I take this time to thank all you guys who have tuned in to watch the broadcast tonight as David Poole stays out.
I'll give you a quick update here as Ian Jolicoeur and Krishna Khalili now running 10th and 11th. Krishna Khalili 10th, Ian Jolicoeur 11th. Stops to come, but still.
Yep. Jolicoeur takes a little wide there through the Porsche curves. See what Halili looks like he's going to pit it in. Yep. And Jolicoeur staying out. Tell you what, that's a sharp looking Mercedes that Halili is driving. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like the paint scheme on that one. Wilkerson now staying out. Greatrick's going to stay out again. So now Monroy up to 14th. He should pick up some spots once these guys elect to pit out in front of him. Oh, I wonder what happened to Ryan Schleif. He's back in 9th. Oh, looks like we missed that. He must have made a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Of course, it's 2 stops for Ryan. So he's good to go. He will pick up some spots yet.
So looks like Ryan staying to the outside. Gonna try and get a toe off Moses.
Yeah, so it's going to be another 2 or 3 laps, and everything's going to be in front of us there on track. All the pit stops will have been decided.
And the Mulsanne corner. Schleif on the inside. Looks like he gets the pass made.
Yeah, Christian will make it too tough. He has yet to complete his final stop.
It's going to drop Moses back to 9th.
Oh, Rodrigo Triana just showing up on timing and scoring with a DNFL.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Hate to see that.
Yeah.
Wow, Moses takes it off! Wow, that could have been brutal, but they really didn't lose too much time there. Wow.
Yeah, maybe he had a little extra speed in that draft, caught him out or something.
Yeah, looks like it. So, track temperature starting to creep back up here. Maybe that could be catching some guys off.
Yeah, that's a good point, Al. It is rising pretty dramatically once again.
So Alex White has yet to pit.
Yeah, another lap and a half, 2 laps, and he'll be forced to come in.
So taking a look at time and working lap 18 of a scheduled 24. So I'll tell you what, who's creeping up on Salem is David Poole now. David Poole has yet to pit. He's going to have to take a short stop. Salem's good to go.
It shouldn't be too much of a threat to Salem for sure. We'll have to see where Poole's final tally shakes out. But I tell you, Andres Pareto 3 seconds faster that time than Aaron Parsons. Third and fourth on track, but virtually for the lead.
I'll tell you what, in just about a lap or a lap and a half, Pareto has widened that gap to 10 seconds over Montgomery Jr. after that pit stop. So Pareto certainly on a charge, as the guys around him have double stinted, and the big unknown right now is what Alex White will do if he's I assume he's going to double stint. Just take fuel.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so. And that gap actually from Alex White to Aaron Parsons has opened up a little bit since Aaron Parsons has come out of the pits.
The question here is, what is Matt Taylor? Does Matt Taylor need to come in, or is he good to go? To the regulations.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Matt Taylor... when did he... Yeah, no, Matt will need to come in again.
All right, someone asked...
Matt Taylor stopped on lap 10, yeah.
Someone
so
asked
lap 20,
where,
Matt Taylor will be in.
Someone asked where Juan is. Juan currently running in 12th. He's still got some guys up ahead of him who need to pit. So we'll have to figure out where Juan's going to end up here. Halili running in 13th. The Trussler still behind him in 14th. Houston and Greg
15th.
Myers, 15th, 16th. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. Andres Pareto, I think, could get back up there. If you can hold this lap pace, looks like it's still going to be White, Parsons, or Pareto when this all comes together. I'm curious, Al. You know, you got the fight on track. For instance, Kreshnik Kalili and Mike Trussler going at it here for 13th, but you also have the fight on these strategy questions. And so it's kind of a dual a race these guys are having here.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's got me all crossed up. So Kurt Chandler makes the pass on Dan Wilkerson for 18th. Man, I'm telling you, if I was Kurt, I was running as well as far up as I was, and I'm not gaining any positions, and I'm running 18th after making my 2 stops. I'd be like, the heck did I do wrong?
Yeah, some of these guys in front of them have pitted, so I'm not sure what they've done wrong. They're going to pick up a few spots yet, but, yeah.
Wilkerson takes the spot back from Kurt.
Yeah, those guys are running around,
Halili takes
13th?
it off. Loses that spot to Trussler.
Well, that's not going to help.
Raytrick's up to 11th. Jolicoeur 10th. Moses 9th. So Marty Poole, Montgomery, who's starting to lose time to David Poole.
Yeah, Greetrex needs to come in.
I'll tell you what, Matt Taylor, Parsons has now closed the gap up on Matt Taylor for second. on board with Taylor. Seeing where White is in relation to these guys. White just approaching Indianapolis, and Taylor and Parsons remain on the Mulsanne Straight. Got a couple now dropping out. Tell you what, it's been a great opening round here, Brad. A lot of excitement, a lot of great racing.
Yeah, a lot of ins and outs. Really, more or less, kind of what we expected. Did somebody else just drop? No. Yeah, more or less what we kind of expected. So it's all over now, but the shouting. Alex White will be in this lap or the next, along with all the other guys that have yet to stop, and we're going to know.
Parsons has made the pass on Matt Taylor for second. Meanwhile,
yeah, so Alex White into the pits.
Prato with he's really closing the gap up. He's really not that far off. Well, considering where he was. White in. We got our eyes on him. We got our eyes on Parsons. How's this going to shake out?
It's still going to be close for Andres. He needs to continue this torrid pace really to have a shot here. He may be on the back foot at the moment.
It's going to be a short stop. Oh, White's away.
Short.
White is away.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it for him. I think he's got it right.
Well, Taylor into the pits.
Well, Aaron Parsons he's on that worn rubber too.
Yeah, but he's up on the main straight, and it doesn't look like he's lost as much time compared to as White's got some lap traffic up ahead. This isn't going to help.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think White's in good shape here, Al. I think he might have got this done.
Parsons not that far off. Let's take a look at the gaps. 7 seconds. Prato 19 seconds off.
All right, he's up on the wheel. You just know he's sweating bullets in that cockpit right now.
Well, 4 laps is not your typical 4 laps. Still quite a ways, quite a distance yet to go.
No, yes, yeah, absolutely. So it's Juan Monroy now, back up to 12th, Gup. Cuppet and Houston fighting over 16th, those last points. I'm interested to see, so yeah, Curtis and Jonathan Cuppet there in 17th. Don't know what happened to those guys.
Okay, gap is still 7 seconds, so keep our eye on that. You can see the distance between the two. You got that vet splitting those guys. And there's Andres just getting onto the Mulsanne Straight. Montgomery running 4th. Ryan Schleif now in 5th. Just gets by Matt Taylor. So Matt Taylor with that short fill. He's away but loses that position to Ryan. David Pools, he came in and out. Moses up to 8th, and he's got Marty Uren all over his tailpipe. Marty gonna throw it in there. Oh, he's still got a ways to go. Marty swinging out wide. Marty gets the pass made. See if Moses can counter. You know, Moses, that horse is very straight. Very fast on these straights. Got it really trimmed up.
I think Moses has yet to make his last stop, doesn't he? Or does he?
That's a great question.
Or did he just come out?
He might have just come out. Moses gets the pass remade. See what Marty does now.
Yeah, I think Chris actually does have to stop to make it.
So I'm on right now up to 10th. After starting from the back, so nice run from Juan. Core in 11th. Trusser now running in 12th. Lely behind him in, I'm sorry, Greg Myers behind him in 13th. Great trick, Greg. About a second off in 14th. Ooh, we got a drag race between Cuppet and Houston. Houston, is he gonna get the pass, man? Not yet. Last 2 points paying positions. Guys aren't too far off of this Great Tricks and looks like Greg Myers, yep. And I'll tell you what, Cuppet's doing a great job even with all that aero damage on that BMW that he hasn't had fixed.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and a three-way battle going on just behind them. Don't know if you picked it up. Wilkerson, Lely, and Chandler.
Whoa. What a battle between Cuppet and Houston. Houston on the inside.
Oh! Sorry, I watched Curtis Chandler go off and Bennett there through the Porsche curve.
Oh boy. Cuppet, meanwhile, hanging on to this spot. Wilkerson, Halili. Yeah, there's Kurt. He is back in 19th. I don't know what caught Kurt off there. Something happened to him in his pit rotation that really kind of ruined his race there. Currently in 19th, we got Iggy running 20th. Watt in 21st. Ken Rodriguez 22nd. Lou 23rd. Chuck Carter's running in 24th. That'll do it. Taking a look at, the track temp has shot up to 114 degrees. Wow.
Yeah, it sure has. I tell you, Andres Prieto has made a few mistakes. Just
Yep.
now driving a little over the limit, and that could be all she wrote.
Yeah, I think so, and that gap has remained static between White and Parsons. It's been about 7.5 seconds for a lap and a half, 2 laps now.
Yeah, he needed to maintain that ridiculous pace, and boy, missing out on just a couple 3 seconds here on a mistake on a lap could have sealed his fate. Boy, that Ryan Schleif Matt Taylor battle has come back together though somewhat here, running within a couple seconds of each other over 5th.
Yep, just picked that up. Montgomery Jr. not too far off in the distance. David Poole quietly running in 7th. Moses, after getting by Marty, has put some distance between him and Marty. We got Monroy in 10th. Joe LaCour, Trussler, Greg Myers, and Houston finally made the pass on Cuppet and just gave it back. Unreal. Just a little too much throttle there. That's all she wrote. Yeah, this is a battle right now up between Greg Myers, Mike Greatrix, Jonathan Cuppet, and John Houston. Guys are starting to close up on Greatrix. Houston now having a look on the inside, gets it. Oh, a little tap. That's going to drive Cuppet into the gravel. He gets away okay. It looked pretty good. I don't know.
I think John had some pretty solid position there.
Now he's going to go to work on Greatrix, see if he can jump up to 14th. Still enough time, maybe chip away and get at Greg Myers there for 13th. 12th, sorry. Oh! Houston spins it! Gives it right back. Now Wilkinson's going to jump up into the points. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, Houston. He's not a happy camper right now.
Yeah, these guys suddenly really coming, having a lot of trouble with the heat soaring back up. We know some of these guys have double stinted, and so that, along with the wear and then the extra heat, they're really struggling.
Yeah, track temps continues to go up. Huh. It's going to be interesting if these guys who might have gone on mediums are overheating the tires and
yeah, everybody's going to be suffering. Andres Prieto, I can tell the way his lap times have dropped off here since the heat's gone up. If he's struggling on those new tires in a good car, then the rest of the guys are really going to be hard pressed. Aaron Parsons, as a result, actually, this temperature rise has picked up a little bit of ground on Alex White now, but in the end, I don't think it's going to make a difference.
I don't think so either. Again, the gap's still about 7 seconds. So. It's about a lap and some change to go. Let's take a look at the switch real quick here. unlikely, but Preto could have an opportunity to catch up on Parsons, but gap might be just a little too wide.
Yeah, just going back quickly, I take a look through time and scoring. Chris Moses actually has done a very good job in this race. He struggled horribly early. Was back in the field order, started 15th or something. He has made a very nice drive up to 8th tonight after starting back and then coming to such dire battles there early on. Aero damage as well.
Yeah, well, I think he, considering the night he's had, I'm sure I'll be happy if he can finish where he is now.
Yeah, sure.
So Joe LaCour now, Trussler's starting to gain some ground on him for that 11th position. Oh, great tricks. Still out ahead of Cuppet. That gap has been pretty consistent. Wilkerson now in 16th. We saw that happen. Houston now trying to catch up on Wilkerson, but I think these guys are starting to feel the heat, no pun intended.
Yeah, just another lap and a half to go, and as you mentioned, it's a long lap. I tell you, one or two of these guys are going to find themselves slipping down the order with mistakes here. I suspect that that's going to happen, so I have to keep a close eye on those gaps. They'll change quickly.
So Halili in 18th, Chandler, like we talked about him, in 19th. Jordia's debut currently in 20th. Watson running 21st. Rodriguez 22nd. Lou back in 23rd, and Chuck Carter bringing up the rear in 24th. So it looks like Watson has got his lap back. Gap now 6.8. It's gone down about a second.
Yeah, 6.8, but Alex has gauged it correctly. You know, this is really a case of a very good driver employing what turned out to be the best strategy in conjunction with a car that could do 10-lap stints and really being able to shorten that final stop.
It's not, as Watson has a huge moment in front of the leader. Let's not forget to mention that our draft, Alex White and his teammate, picked last in the draft, and the BMW was there.
Yeah.
He scooped it up, and he's on his way to a victory here in the opening round. And that'll do it. Alex White, your winner here at Le Mans, followed by Aaron Parsons. Andres Preto is going to take third. Certainly happy with that podium result. Montgomery Jr. in this new Viper debut is going to finish solidly here in fourth.
Yeah, nice run.
So I'm sure I'll be happy with that. Ryan Schleif will bring it home in fifth. We think. There he goes. He takes fifth. Matt Taylor coming home sixth. Nice run for him. David Poole should come back here in seventh. So David Pretty quiet run after that second stop of his. After getting by Marty Uren, he was all alone for the rest of the night. But a good job after that 10 grid spot penalty. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, back there toward, when you do get toward 10th, there is a battle going on here to finish up. Just FYI.
Chris Moses is going to finish 8th. Monroy is going to take 9th. Great run from Juan.
Yeah.
Marty should take 10th. Yeah, we touched on this one earlier. Joe LaCour and Trussler. Trussler taking a look, but just not close enough. It looks like Joe LaCour is going to hang on to this. Still a couple corners left. Keep it tidy. He's going to hang on to it. 11th and 12th. Greg Myers is going to take 13th. Oh, it looks like Greatrix might have had a mistake. He's giving up 14th to Cuppet and Wilkerson. And Greatrix is going to hang on. Yes, he's going to score a point here in the first race. Houston finished 17th. Halili to 18th. Chandler should take 19th. And Iggy Giordi, still a way to go here. Going to take 20th.
Yeah, he'll be the best of the newcomers, though. He'll have won that personal battle anyway if he does manage to cross the line.
Yeah, he should make it, and Watson behind him in 21st. But we're joined by Alex White, our winner here tonight. Congratulations, Alex, on a great run there. Kind of trying to figure out your strategy there, your fuel strategy. Why don't you explain to us what decision you made there at the end? Looks like you double stinted, went long on your second stop. I don't know. I'm all confused.
Our strategy was 10 laps, 4 laps, and the last 14 double stint tires, which worked really, really well, because I knew I had nowhere near as much pace as Ezra. So if I just went 8, 16, 24, then he'd have probably have beat me.
Well, yeah, and I was keeping an eye. Congratulations on that, the win of the first win here of season 24, Alex. I was keeping an eye on that, and it looked like it might have been touch and go there in that second stint. It looked like that was the real key, running about 6 seconds off, but actually gaining a little bit of ground there on Aaron Parsons that second stint. Did you feel like it was touch and go, or were you pretty confident you had a good shot there deep into that second stint?
Yeah, it was coming up on lap 12, 13, I think it was, when the gap wasn't increasing. I was doing the same lap times. It was like, might have a chance here. And then Ezra double stinted his second stint as well, so he was on massively old tyres as well, which probably helped me a bit as well.
Well, certainly a great run tonight, Alex, and a great start to season 24. How do you guys picked last in the draft? How do you feel this BMW is going to shape up through the rest of the season?
Pretty good. It was quite high on our list, so we were pleased enough to get it. It is on Dunlops, which is a minor downside, but they were fine tonight. Hopefully we can keep going. And Matt scored good points as well tonight.
Yeah, great
so
job by you and your teammate Matt Taylor. So congratulations on a great night and great points finish for Axis of Awesome. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to watching the broadcast as usual. Thanks for doing it.
Thanks. Alright, there you have it, Brad. Great start to the season here. It was a tremendous race, a lot of back and forth action throughout the night, and really Alex played that strategy perfectly as he wins tonight here at Le Mans.
Yeah, certainly lived up to the expectations, and gotta give credit again here to Juan Monroy. He employed a very good strategy. Was the first of the stoppers, and to employ that double stint, and I think caught a bunch of guys out, including us a little bit with that strategy. But nonetheless, a great drive for him, and really everybody tonight that finished. It was a tough race, but they got through it, and hey, we're off and running on season 24.
We certainly are. We'll be back next week, coming to you live from Watkins Glen for round 2. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. Be sure to tune in Thursday for GT1 round 1, the feature race, 3 hours from Road America. So it should be a good, entertaining night of racing there on Thursday. So until next week, thanks Brad, and thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you soon.